Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the 5-Star Podcast, and I'm here with a fresh green. I was told not to say green, but we'll call it green. Clinton, Stacy, new to the independent scene around here. Well, your first match was last month, is that right?
April the 15th at the Hazard High School.
And it was also your second match and your third match, right?
I ran the gambit that night. I had a singles match, a tag match, and I was entered into a battle royal.
Sounds good. So what was it like getting into the ring for the first time?
Undescribable. I couldn't have imagined how great it was going to be. I've been a fan my entire life, since I was a little kid sitting on my dad's knee, pulling his chest hair out, watching Ric Flair and Sting. And I wish I would have gotten into it sooner, but you know, things in life, you make decisions, and I decided I was going to do this. It's always been a dream of mine, and I decided to do it. And my good friend Kyle Maggard and John Noble said they would help me out and train me. And I'll tell you what, standing behind the curtain, I was nervous, confident in myself and my ability to wrestle. But once I went through that curtain, it went into automatic drive.
Sounds good. So went well for you. Did you win? Did you lose? How did they?
Well, my first match with Austin Moore ended in a disqualification. I was going for my finisher, and his friend, Picture Perfect Jordan Cage, came from behind, and they laid the boots to me to say. But one of my trainers, Kyle Maggard, he come out and we evened the odds up. And later that night, so I won that one by disqualification. And then my tag match, I tagged with a newcomer himself, Mr. Juan Noble from the Mexico.
Yes, and I've seen some pictures of Juan Noble, and he looks a lot like John Noble with a mask on.
Well,
can you comment on that?
It's not John Noble. They're two different people. It's just coincidental that they sound the same.
Okay,
you know, their names sound the same, and you know, it's just the spelling is totally different. It's just your Juan, you know, Juan, like Juan, and John. It just sounds.
Well, I'm glad that if that got cleared up, it got cleared up here on the 5-Star Podcast, because I know people.
You heard it here
Facebook,
first, just to clarify.
They're all saying, "I'm telling you, that's John Noble," but it is not.
No, all of the haters, the naysayers, and we'll put that to rest this Friday night, May 6th at Buckhorn High School.
You mentioned that you wish you got into it earlier. So how old are you right now?
I'm.
Asking if he's a woman,
I'd be in
okay.
Trouble.
I'd be in trouble if it was a woman.
31.
31.
That's turned 30. A young 31.
I think if I remember correctly, and I'm sure you've been a wrestling fan, so you know Diamond Dallas Page.
Definitely.
I think he got into it like his
36.
I think
30, he was a manager before.
Early 30s he was a manager.
Yep.
And he was mid 30s before he got in as a wrestler, and that's really unheard of, especially breaking into WCW level, and then he ended up actually
world champ.
World champ.
Even another one good example in WWE, Dave Bautista, on one of his DVDs I watched, he said he was 33 when he walked into one of the Wild Samoans gym, Alpha, and he said, why did you wait so long? 33 years old and before he got started. So, I kind of thought of that when I was going in. I was like, 31, but I'm still in good shape. I actually, for work, I had to take a vitality quiz, so it told me I was actually 28. So, I'll take that.
Okay. Well, if I ever get into it, I'm 28 right now. But if I took a vitality quiz, I'm probably 45 or so. if I had to take a guess. But so you said you've been a fan all your life. Who were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Well, through different ages, it was different people.
Same. We're all marks.
Yeah, everybody's a mark. My earlier years, when I was a kid, I liked Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Macho Man Randy Savage, the big flamboyant personalities, bright colors, high rope maneuvers. I really liked that. 1, 2, 3 Kid. Bret Hart and 1, 2, 3 Kid had a match on Raw, and that was one of my favorite matches ever growing up as a kid. Now during the Attitude Era, of course, I loved Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Everybody does.
Everybody loved him. I was a Bill Goldberg fan. You know, I liked him, just the intensity he brought in the ring, his long winning streak he had. I loved the NWO. When Hulk Hogan turned bad, forget about it. That was one of the biggest things in wrestling.
See, I actually I didn't really start watching wrestling until right after the NWO. You know, they formed and Hogan turned on Macho Man, and I can remember at my grandmother's house turning the TV, and everybody always said wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake. But there was this one episode of Nitro where the NWO showed up, and they threw Rey Mysterio into the trailer outside, and I'm like, this isn't fake. This can't be. You know, I bought into it, and from that moment on, I was hooked. So I missed a lot of really good stuff, but I went back and watched it all. You didn't mention Ric Flair, but I'm telling you, that was my guy.
That was my guy. From start to finish, Ric Flair is probably the best wrestler, sports entertainer, worker that ever to live, for sure. He could do it all. He could come in and, you know, as they say, he could make a town, shine a guy up real good, and then still walk out the champ.
Yep, and nobody else could do that in the days of territories. It was, you know, it's really hard to put someone over and then and beat them. But Ric Flair did that. He was the champion that every night you kind of thought this is the night that he's going to lose. Yep. But he always found another way to do it.
Him and the Four Horsemen.
And even, you know, we previewed Payback last week on the podcast, and last night Ric Flair still up to his old tricks again. And you mentioned Bret Hart earlier too, so they teased the Montreal Screwjob finish with Bret Hart's niece Natalia, and of course the referee was the great Charles Robinson, Little Nate. Nature Boy's at ringside, and then Charlotte gets her in the sharpshooter, and once Little Nate started calling for the bell, I was like, they've done it. They've done it again.
The screw job. Poor Bret Hart got drug into it again.
But last night was a good show.
The wrestling was solid. It was a really good pay-per-view.
Good
really
show.
Good.
Who's your favorite guy that's wrestling now?
Right now,
WWE or not?
Well, I really like AJ Styles, who technically won twice last night, but at the end, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But when it come down to he had his shoulders pinned to the mat and couldn't walk out with the title last night. So, but I really like AJ Styles, and there are a lot of guys on the NXT product that are coming up, such as Finn Balor. Samoa Joe's been around for a while. He's a veteran, which actually a lot of those guys are. It's just they've just now made their way to the WWE, and it's a really exciting time in wrestling right now.
Oh yeah, Samoa Joe. We talked last week as well. He won the title at a house show, and that's something that's not happened in decades.
I think the last time I remember a title change at a house show, and it being the world title, back in I think it was in '95 when Diesel, at the time Kevin Nash, he pinned Bob Backlund in about 7 seconds at Madison Square Garden for the WWF title.
Big stuff. I'm a big fan of the NXT product too, and a lot of it is because of these. In history, WWE has been big on developing their own guys,
homegrown talent. Yeah.
But now they've broke down and realized that these independent wrestlers that they've just got something to offer. And if you look at like last night, the two best matches I think were. Styles and Roman Reigns for the title, and you have Styles, who's an indie product, Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, which those are kind of super indies, but he worked his way up like that. And then the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match.
That was amazing. Those guys have feuded all over the globe.
And those, so to me, those guys really stole the show, and most of them are indie guys, and even the Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho match. Chris Jericho is really an indie guy at heart. He went all over. He was in Mexico, Germany, Japan, and right here in Eastern Kentucky with Smoky Mountain Wrestling and Jim Cornette. Lot of good stuff going on today. If I had to I'd have a hard time picking a favorite wrestler now, but I really like Seth Rollins, but
He's good. He is
he's
really good.
not currently able to compete, but I hear he's not going to be long.
Should be back soon, and that'll really change the title picture up in WWE. It's a lot of storylines going around. There's rumors of a brand split again, which they have enough talent to do it right now, but I still would rather see them all together.
Yeah, I especially don't like the idea of a brand split, since they used to have the WWE title, now the world title, but now they've got the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Well, they just split it. They just combined them in, what was it, 2013 or 2014 with John Cena versus Randy Orton. They combined the two of them, and here it is, just 2 to 3 years later, and they would already split them back again. It would I don't think it would be a good idea right now.
No doubt about it. But it was a pay-per-view last night that a lot of people thought was kind of a throwaway pay-per-view, but I think it was a good wrestling product, and I think that's what a lot of the indie shows do a little better than WWE on a regular basis, is really just focus on the wrestling. But WWE has a 3-hour show on Monday nights that they have to get in all these storylines. They got to get in all the they filling a 3-hour show.
So you have to take your time with that. You can't you can't show all your cards at once. And a lot of guys on the internet and reviews that I read, they were a little upset that there wasn't any more title changes, which there were no title changes last night, and that there weren't any big swerves or surprises, which I see in spots where they, like you said, they build their story, and it's a slower burn, and it's, you can't have everybody, come to a head at one night. So it's a long process. But the wrestling was very good last night. It was solid.
Big fan of it. And you're going to be wrestling this weekend?
Yes,
right?
Friday night. Yeah, my second night out, my fourth match though, since I pulled the triple play on the 15th. This Friday it'll be a tag match. Okay,
and the tag match will be against. It'll be against one of the guys that you fought last time.
Actually, on the 15th, the tag match I was in was myself and Juan Noble, of course.
Juan Noble, not John Noble.
Juan Noble. The pronunciation is key there. Juan Noble. Me and him, and we fought ATM, Austin Tyler Moore, and Picture Perfect Jordan Cage, two experienced, well-rounded veteran wrestlers. But that's who we fought last time, and this time it'll actually be myself, and I'll be teaming up with a different guy, since Juan Noble actually has the title shot that he won in the Battle Royal. He has his title shot on Friday night for the BCW Heavyweight Championship, and I will be teaming with Kyle Maggard, who came in and saved the day the last time when Jordan Cage and Austin Moore tried to lay the boots to me on a 2-on-1 attack from behind, and we'll be facing Jordan Cage and Austin Moore that night.
All right, we've actually got Kyle in the studio. He's going to come out here in a little bit, but your boy ATM and legendary Larry the Legend,
Legendary D. Larry D.
Man, I keep thinking Larry Bird, Larry Legend. It's Larry D. They had some words for the folks that they're wrestling this weekend.
Okay.
And we're going to take a look at them right now.
The 6, Buckhorn, Kentucky. You see, what you're going to realize, what you're going to see right in front of your eyes when myself and Jordan Cage come in is the team simply known as Pretty Perfect. And you want to know why? Because everything we do is perfect. You see, the last time I was down at BCW, Clinton Stacy, you tried to jerk me around and throw me around, and you might have got lucky, and you might have pinned me. You see, you could take your 6-foot, goofy-looking self, you could bring your best bud, your trainer, your man of the hour, Kyle Maggard. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you bring. Me and Jordan Cage are going to be ready. Because if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. Last time I seen you all in Hazard, Kentucky, I got bullied and I got beaten. John Noble, this is what you wanted. Right here he is. You see, the champ is ready. And he's going to tell you about it. Tell him, champ.
You know, John Noble, I knew it from the beginning. You are not man of your word. You don't hold up to your ends of the deal. But you know what you've done, John Noble, is you've not made a big mistake. You've made a terrible mistake. And I'll tell you why you've made a mistake, John Noble, and that is deciding to step back in the ring with the man that ended your career just a short time ago. But you know what, John Noble? You want to prance around in a mask and call yourself Juan Noble, whatever you want to call yourself. Facts of the matter is, John Noble, you're a coward. You're not a man of your word. But unlike you Eastern Kentucky hillbillies, up this way, we hold our word. And come Friday night, May the 6th, it'll be a great night for this side of the state, because the best side of the state, ATM and Larry D, will be right there. And I'll get to step foot in there one more time. And I'll get the joy of it in your career, not just once, but twice. And John Noble, I hope you're in there prepping. I hope you're in there getting ready, because I'm ready. I've been ready since the 1, 2, 3 of your last match. I've been training hard. I've been lifting hard. And by gosh, I've been fighting hard. And all 3 of those things are the perfect combination to end your career one more time. Because if it don't make dollars,
It doesn't make sense.
Some strong words there from ATM and Larry D. What's your guys' reaction to that?
Well, my first reaction is ATM, Jordan Cage, when you two cats come down to Buckhorn this Friday, May the 6th, doors open at 6:30, bell time 7:30 p.m. sharp. Me and Clinton, we're going to let you all climb in the ring, and we're going to slap you so hard you're not going to know which public restroom to use, okay? So shut your traps. And as far as Larry D goes, he got screwed, John got screwed last time against him, with that crooked Michael Jameson, who faces Juan Noble, absolutely no relation.
Juan Noble.
Not connected whatsoever. But I know that we'll have a legit referee in there this time, and John's got the best shot in the world, because from my understanding, if John gets beat, John's banned from wrestling altogether. Can't go to an event, can't referee, can't even order that stupid WWE network for $9.99.
Man.
So, a lot's on the line, and it's in Buckhorn too. That's John. It's John's territory. John's got to get that win.
Hometown
I
crowd.
think he can do it though.
Oh, yeah.
So what's up, man? It's good to be back on the 5-Star Podcast, baby.
I know.
Glad you got me on.
I've had you in the studio a handful of times, but you've only been on here,
Just once.
camera once.
Just once.
But
I don't have to hog all the limelight. Let John get a little bit. Clinton get some here. Heck.
John, Kyle's never lost for words.
Never.
Never.
Oh, never.
no, you typically when I have Kyle here, we might do the podcast for 30 or 40 minutes, and then we're usually here for 2 more hours after that, just talking wrestling or whatever. But good times. I know you guys got this show coming up this weekend, but you said you also had a show in June.
There's a good chance they'll probably see us at the fair at the county fair again, like we was last year.
Because I know I was upset last year because I showed up at the county fair with one thing on my mind, and that was seeing some wrestling, and it started pouring the rain, and I said, you know what? There ain't no way they're going to have this show in the pouring rain, so I just went to the house. And then my mom calls me later on and says, where was you at? They had wrestling up at the fair tonight. And I said, well, I didn't think there's no way that these guys would have got out there and did that in the rain, but I guess it cleared up or it didn't
man,
matter
it was
anyway.
hot too. Oh, it was humid. Yeah. You couldn't breathe out there in the ring. Oh man, it was bad.
So you guys are tagging this weekend. So tell me this. Who I know Clinton looks like a big guy here, but he's a little green. So who's going to be packing you guys?
Oh, well, me and him, I've been working with him for seems like 6 months now.
Yeah.
He can hold his own. He hold his own, and if he can, I'm right there. I got his back.
So you think Clinton is ready to go this weekend?
I am ready to go.
Clinton proved last time out he was ready to go. So there's no doubt in my mind that he's ready to rock and roll.
These guys we're going against, they've been in the ring longer than I have, but this is something that I've built for my entire life. It's just that this is the first time, I've actually got into the ring is now. And like you said, I proved that on the 15th You know, I won the first match by DQ, which it would have been a pinfall victory had Jordan Cage not come in and attacked me from behind. And then in the tag match, you know, I hit my finisher, got the pin on ATM, and then did reasonably well in the Battle Royal, especially it was the third match of the night. And it's a different kind of athleticism and conditioning that you have to be in to step through those ropes. I mean, I've been bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman training for the last 13 years now. And all that helped me to transition into my wrestling training, but once you step in those ropes, it's a different world.
See, I've been bodybuilding too, but evidently I'm building with the wrong stuff.
It's a science. You got to really find what works for you individually.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm gonna have to get up with Clinton and see what he's using, because evidently what I'm building my body with isn't working out the same. But the ATM and Jordan Cage, I've seen them. They're kind of smaller guys. How are they going to be able to?
I guess they're going to have to try to use some quickness against us. That's the only game plan I can come up with there, Nathan.
Some quickness.
But you know, just one hit, boom. They're to the mat. It's over with.
They have some speed, but no doubt we'll see some underhanded
See,
tricks.
that's what I was getting at.
Underhanded, dirty tricks. But we're ready for that.
Last year, I think maybe 2 years ago, I don't know. All these buckhorn shows, they kind of, once you get over there, it takes a while to get over there. So it's they kind of all run together. But I remember Jordan Cage was tagging with John Noble at one of these, and I remember Jordan turning on him right in the middle of the ring, Hogan style. I was surprised they didn't give him a leg drop. But so I kind of think that you guys might have to watch your backs a little bit.
Well, I mean, if you made it out to our last show at Hazard, I mean, you see how they do things. All those people from Central Kentucky, they come down here in Eastern Kentucky and they think they're better than all of us. And they get out there and they make their little plans and do whatever manipulations they need to do with the system to get ahead. And then they come out there, and 9 times out of 10, we slap them around and send them on their way. It's just how we roll down here.
They have a Napoleon inferiority complex, kind of, I would guess. They would love to, like ATM said in there, 6 foot. He called me 6 foot and goofy, and that's okay. I understand he's still going through puberty. That's a natural thing to be aggressive when you're going through that phase in life. I understand. I remember my first chest hair. It's okay. But they get in the ring with us. They'll have to do their underhanded tactics. They'll pull the tights, cheat when the ref's looking behind. But at the end of the day, we're just naturally talented. Kyle's a veteran. He's been around for a long time. Look at him.
Veteran.
6'4", 6'5".
6'4".
I'll take it. 290, 300 pounds. I mean, you just can't. Like he said, one hit, them guys. It don't matter how quick they are, or what dirty dealings they think to bring in there. But we got this.
It was like last night with AJ Styles. As fast as he was, Roman Reigns got a hold of him.
Just takes one good solid hit.
Slows you right down.
It's the story of wrestling. If the big guys, they get a hold of you, it's over. And if the little guys, they can work on you, and everybody can always cheat. Everybody can always play the Ric Flair.
There's always that wild card.
You never know. We might cheat. You never know.
Hey.
Whatever it takes to win. Whatever it takes to win. But I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it this weekend. It's Saturday, right?
No, Friday.
Friday night.
Come on.
Friday night. 6:30 doors open.
6:30 doors open.
7:30 bell time.
Sponsored by Earl Field's Buckhorn High School soccer team. So part of the proceeds go to help Earl and his soccer team.
Earl Fields has a soccer team at Buckhorn now?
Earl Fields been allowed to coach. Yeah, that's a shocker. But Earl's a pretty good coach. I'm not gonna bash Earl. Earl's a good coach.
I just didn't know. I just didn't know he was coaching soccer. That's
Yeah.
So you got Earl coaching soccer. You got John coaching basketball. We just need a couple more Buckhorn coaches, and you can have a whole faction.
Well, hold on. Eddie Browning used to coach Buckhorn too.
Oh, there you go.
He coached baseball and basketball there.
Maybe we can get John Paul Amos involved.
John Paul.
Maybe we can get him.
I can see him in that manager role.
He can be the Ric Flair at ringside. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
We'll do a Survivor Series type match. Team Buckhorn.
Team Buckhorn versus Central Kentucky.
Central Kentucky.
We need to get you in there.
Listen,
I'd like to be in that ring, getting that crowd going. make a big tag to Nathan. You come in, just start whooping everybody.
Listen, I've been banned from these things because I jumped in the ring, whooped a bunch of them once, and they won't let me come back.
You didn't have your license. That's what it was.
That's what it was. I mean, it was evidently it was illegal. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that you had to have a license around here. But it's going to be fun this weekend. I'll definitely be there. Friday, not Saturday. Friday, and we'll be seeing you guys, all the bad guys, John Noble, and Juan Noble.
Listen,
We'll put it to rest.
I can guarantee you this right now. You come to Buckhorn, Kentucky, you will see John Noble and Juan Noble in the ring at the same time. I mean, that's the end of it. I mean,
we'll see what happens.
Listen, John's got the biggest match of his life. Why is he going to wrestle twice? Why is he going to wrestle twice? I mean, come on.
I didn't think it made sense either.
We know it's the idiots up there in Central Kentucky that think that they're the same, but us people down in Eastern Kentucky, we know better.
Okay, well, I will look forward to witnessing John Noble and Juan Noble in the ring. Also look forward to seeing you guys and the rest of the folks at Bluegrass Championship Wrestling this weekend, and we'll be back next week, guys. We'll see what happens with these cats and what happened with their matches, and we'll talk about some more independent wrestling in Kentucky on the 5 Star Podcast.
5 Star.
Thank you, guys.